All right, so for the first steps of getting our directive set up, why don't we create the files that we'll need, and we'll just move everything that we have here in our template over to the template that is specific to the directive we're making. And at the same time, we can get the directive started. All right, so let's head over here to the console and let's go into our ng classifieds folder and let's take a look what we've got. We've got our components, so let's cd components, and then we want to go into our classifieds. And this is where we want to put our card folder. So let's do make dir and we'll call it card. And then within there, let's create two new files. We'll do touch and it's going to be classified card.tpl.html. That's going to be for the view. And then we'll do a classified card.dir for directive.js. All right, so there's our files. Let's head over here and just make sure that came through, and it looks like it did. So let's grab everything from here. We'll start at md card, and we'll come down here where it finishes. Let's just cut that out, and let's put that over here into our new template. So we'll paste that in, and we can just back it up so that it's formatted a bit better. We'll save that. And then over here, what we can do is we can take these and move them onto our actual classified card. So let's cut that out. And then within here, and we don't have this set up yet, but we are eventually going to have classified card, just like that. And then within our classified card here, we can actually paste those items. So let's come down and just format this a bit more nicely. And we'll come over here and layout wrap comes down there as well. All right, so now what we can do is start the process of setting up our directive. So let's come over here and we want to start with our iffy like we normally do. And then we'll just finish it off right away. And then we'll use strict. And then here we'll do Angular and it's .module ng classifieds. And then we want a directive. So we normally do a controller there when we do a controller, but this time it's directive and it's called classified card. And then we put a function in, and then here we need to return our directive definition object. We always return an object from a directive, and the first item here is going to be our template. So in this case, instead of doing something inline like we did last time, we can do template URL, and this is now going to be a path that points to our actual template. So we're going to put in components and classifieds and card, and then it's classified card.tpl.html. And then we want to close off this directive right away. We want to isolate it from the outside world. And the way that we do that is by declaring scope as an object. And within here, in just a little while, we're going to get some bindings to our controller. But for now, let's just keep this as an empty object. And then with directives, we can define a controller for the directive right within here. So we want to have a controller, and we can either do it in line with a function, or we can point to a function that we define below. So let's do classified card controller. And then we can also do controller as, so we do controller as, and then we say VM. All right, so that is everything that we need to return from our directive. And what we'll do now is just shim out the function that we're going to use as our controller. So it's classified card controller. And we'll set that up further in a little while. It's going to end up looking a little bit similar to what we have here in our initial controller. All right, so let's save that. And over here in our index.html, we want to actually make reference to that directive. So let's copy this and we'll come over here. It's going to be card. And over here, it is classified card.dir.js. All right, so if we view this in the browser now, we aren't going to get a whole lot, and that's because we don't have things set up yet. So let's take a look at what's going on right now. We get nothing in the console, we get nothing over here on our page, but that's to be expected. We have said in our main template that we want our classified card, but right now the classified card isn't doing a whole lot. So just to make sure everything's coming through, let's just view the page source and make sure that we've got our directive, and there it is. So now we're ready to start making our directive do what we want, and that is to take a list of classifieds and display them here on the screen. And we'll do that in the next video.